So this song was one of the last we penned on the album, and I felt like, there's so many empowerment anthems on here. I've got FAB Girl, I've got Alainia, I've got Cat Got Your Tongue. I have so many girl boss songs, and I was like, okay, let me just switch it up a little bit by the end. So that's why I decided, I'm going to put something a bit more emotional, a bit more raw, vulnerable, because that's just what you kind of have to do. So that's why I penned this one. I kind of did a little draft, and then I sent it to my producers. I was like, let's see if we can make this work. But one thing I wanted to make sure is that it was still twerkable, because I feel like I have a duty to my people and to my fans to, no matter what subject topic is, it has to be a pop drop. Like, I have to create more pop drops. So I was like, okay, let me make it sad, but also one of the kind of songs where you can still bop to it, even if you don't personally relate to it or anything. And that's how we birthed Let You Go. It's one of my favorites, to be honest. I think it probably shows some of my most mature, introspective writing that I've ever done, and I'm really proud of it. When it's your first time dipping into the pool, you don't quite know what you're looking for. You just know that you want someone, and for them to give you love. What I absolutely just hate about dating is the way that, we all start on the same playing field, and we all start completely blind to what not to do or what to do, and it's just really difficult because you don't even know what you're looking for, as I say in the lyrics. It's just how do you know whether this is the right person? They could be nice, they could tick all the boxes, but you don't know if you're going to have the longevity to be in it with them for life. And that's just another cool part that we just need to accept and try to work through as best we can. And sometimes you make mistakes. You can't escape a cruel heartbreak. At some point we will play both parts of the heartbreaker and broken heart. I really do feel like one of the facts of life is that we're all gonna get our heart massively broken at some point. I feel like it's extremely, extremely rare for someone to not go through that in their life at any point. And in most cases, it's because of that trifling man, or because of that man who just wasn't quite being honest. And that's okay. We all have to go through it at some point, but it's just unfortunate. And as I say, you can't escape a cruel heartbreak. It will come to you eventually. Another thing is that relationships change people. It's magical to me, because you may do things in the heat of the moment that you could never imagine doing to anyone who you know platonically. Day one, it was exciting and new, and day two, I thought forever was true, but day three was kinda boring to me, but I like you, and that's why I choose to let you go. There have been so many points in my life where I've just thought, why did you leave me on? Why did you keep this going? We could have just ended it, and I could have gone through my healing process and I'll be perfectly fine. But you just chose to lie to me for way longer than you needed to, and now here we are. That's why I just believe in the philosophy that if you do not feel it, if you don't have a connection, tell them and move on, because life is short, and there is no point trying to just fix a chain that's already broken. You just have to move on. You struck a match and it burned, but only for a second. Once you break a chain and try to mend it, it'll never be quite as strong. I feel like we all have that one friend who has an ex who they just keep going back to and just doing the same things over and over. And we were just thinking, stop it. Like, what are you doing? And I always give those kinds of people the same advice. Like, you can't break a chain and then try to mend it again. It will always be weaker than it was the first time. And once you break up with someone, I'm very sorry, but 99% of instances, you can't come back to them. You just can't, unless one of you or both of you have made significant changes in your life. It's over. Just move on. It's for the best for both of you. It was never your fault. I go through phases in and out of love. It was never your fault. I don't know exactly what I want. It was never your fault. And don't you dare try to victim blame your heart. It was never your fault. The thing is, I can't blame anyone for what they do, just like if they do something out of passion. Because we all make mistakes, and it's like you can't judge someone by just their mistakes. You have to judge them by their whole character. And it's also good to just take accountability, because sometimes you are the problem, and it's good to own up to that, I think.